Welcome to our review of Arizona Sunshine 2.
I'm ready to jump right in, Josh 13.
Alright, go right ahead then.
Arizona Sunshine takes place in a world of a zombie apocalypse. But don't worry, like the title says, you'll be playing in the sun most of the time. You play as a lonely protagonist isolated from humanity, with only his new zombie friends to keep him company. In this sequel, you find a new buddy in the form of a dog you call Buddy, with whom you'll survive the horrors that have fallen upon this world. And while you're at it, you might find a secret or two.
Arizona Sunshine 2 is not just a standard zombie shooter. To me, when I think about zombies, I think about horror and dark places. While there are dark spots in this game, it does not focus on jump scares. I mean, you could put a head on Buddy. How scary can it be, right? Besides the story mode, there's also horde mode, what can be played up to 4 players. By surviving the waves of zombies, you can unlock more weapons. There are also explosive barrels in the game that can be used tactically.
The best thing about Arizona is that it has co-op. Playing Arizona with a friend is great and creates comical scenarios. During your gameplay, you will find different hats, masks, and weapons. Like Just 13 said, you can put a hat on Buddy, but Buddy is more than just a hat rack. You can also use Buddy to store weapons, which can be useful if you want to swap weapons with your friend. Talking about sharing, the ammo and resources that you find need to be shared, or you or your friend might run out of ammo. With the resources you find, you can craft grenades, mines, and Molotov cocktails.
Like this video if you think Vertigo did a good job with this game, and subscribe for more PlayStation VR2 content. If you are like me and don't like zombies, I can tell you this. This might be the game that gets you into zombies. Normally I would avoid zombies, but a few minutes later, playing this with Max, I knew it was going to be good. Even I have not played the first part. I was always on the fence of buying this game, but knowing I could play this co-op with Max, and Max doesn't mind zombies, I jumped into it. And man, I'm glad I did.
We both have not played the first Arizona Sunshine, but from what I have seen, this is an upgrade. The thing I learned quick is that communication is needed, because at the start of the game, Just 13 stole my handgun and could not give it back, leaving me to face the horde of Freddies unarmed. Unlike Just 13, I don't mind zombies, or Freddies as they're called in this game. Arizona doesn't really have a spooky feel, but that doesn't mean the game's a pushover. It's fine dealing with one Freddy, but when it's a Freddy party, you can start feeling overwhelmed and start fumbling your manual reloads. I've played a few Vertigo games by now, and I've associated their games with quality. And when I heard they had a single player that was playable in co-op, it really got me excited, and it did not disappoint.
At the start of the game, you need to calibrate where you would like your weapons and ammo pouch. I really like how they have done this, because it works really well. Vertigo games have the same control scheme as After the Fall. Unlike After the Fall, you can also put weapons on your back. These are the big guns like assault rifles or a shotgun. You also have a wrist storage for your grenades or melee weapons, like a machete. You can't really lose your firearm. When you drop it or throw it, it will reappear on your waist. What is useful in the heat of combat, but less handy when you want to give your weapon to a teammate.
Each of the guns have their own sound, and the explosions have a nice kick to them. The in-game dialogue is entertaining. The protagonist will talk to himself, the Freddies, but mostly with Buddy. You sound less crazy talking to a dog than to yourself, right? The humor can be quite dark, but that's something we enjoy.
Vertigo developers on the PlayStation VR2 are really outshining most games. It's not Resident Evil or Gran Turismo, but the gameplay and the looks both feel in perfect harmony. That said, you did encounter often that your teammates' tracking was off. Often you saw the hands being raised above the players' heads, while their hands should be way lower than that. I'm sure it's really challenging to figure out, but I hope we'll see improvement in their future games. I would give this game a 9 out of 10. Like I said, if you're not into zombies, you might like Fred more instead. Doing this co-op is really fun, and I'm glad I've experienced Arizona Sunshine 2. The weird angles of the arms is something I'd like to see improved in the future of more VR games, and I'm happy to announce they're not done yet. In the future Arizona Sunshine 2, you will get more horde mode maps, so you will give another reason to jump back in.
Arizona Sunshine 2 was a joy to play. The campaign was long enough and had a few places where you can explore a bit. The horde mode is fine, but I'm done with it after a few times. Horde modes are just too repetitive for me. Personally, I'm also not the biggest fan of the cocking of the shotgun. It had me tapping my controllers together and spreading my arms wide apart in order to take a shot. But Just 13 had no problems, so it could have just been me. Thank you for watching. Consider liking and subscribing if you haven't. Thank you for gamers willing to do so.